morning everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. This week I'm in such a special location. Hang on a second. I'm not even going to tell you anything else without just showing you the view first. So, how is that? Whoa. So I'm in Chamonix for the first time in a year. Last time I was here, I was racing MCC as part of one of the UTMB races of UTMB week, and it was such an incredible experience. This year, I am not racing again, but instead, I am here to support the athletes, going to be supporting loads of friends who are racing various other races that are a lot tougher than the one that I did. And also, I'm going on a couple of my own runs to explore the area and kind of find out what the UTMB runners are really putting themselves through in a very minute sort of way, because today I'm heading out for the last 15 kilometers of the UTMB route to see what it's like. I've done the other side of Chamonix on my way back from MCC, and it is absolutely stunning. It's some of my favorite running that I've ever done. Where UTMB comes back, it is a little bit more difficult, as you can imagine. Rather than coming straight down the valley on a kind of gradual decline and then a flat, it starts with 700 meters of elevation gain, like straight out the blocks from where I'm starting, and then there's a long decline into the area above Chamonix that's got some amazing views, and then it goes even further down until you reach Chamonix itself, and that is where I am finishing. So I'm going to be going with a tour guide, a guy named Francois. He will be able to explain a little bit more about the route itself, because I've never done it before and I really don't know what I've signed myself up for. He said, maybe we should leave 5 hours for this 15 kilometers, and I was like, I'm sorry, what? And he was like, well, for most people it takes them 3 hours. So I was like, oh God, 3 hours for 15 kilometers, how tough is this? And let's bear in mind, this is the last 15 kilometers of an 170 kilometer race. So, it's going to be tough, but it's not going to be anywhere near as tough for me as it will be for the actual runners who will be completing it in a couple of days. So as we speak, it is Tuesday morning. It is 8 o'clock here. I've been up for about an hour now. I'm heading off in 20 minutes, and the runners themselves will be going on Friday. I'm nervous for them, but I'm more nervous for myself. So this is going to be interesting.
And it's very scenic, because in the background you have all the marble range. And it's like this famous place called La Tete au Vent. And La Tete au Vent, for the racer, this is an achievement, because this is the last real uphill. And the 7 last kilometers is downhill.
I've seen this. It's like, is it a big track? And
it's just a big track. It's a ski slope just at the beginning, and it's single track. Single track to the end.
It looks very fun.
It's very fun, but it's pretty long.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Your
fun.
feet will be very hot. So we've just got off the bus. Inside info here, if you are staying in Chamonix, you can get a free bus and train pass, and public transport is significantly better than it is most places in the UK. So actually you can get to loads of different places where you can set off from your run or your hike or your bike or whatever it is from the center of Chamonix, and it's super easy. We are in Montroc, and we're just hiking out to the start, so we're not on the main course at the moment, but CCC, one of the other races during UTMB week, does go through this bit, and I went to go see it. I cycled to it last year, so I kind of am recognizing where we are. And then this is the trail that we go up. I know for a fact there is a very nice restaurant at the end of this, so the temptation to just sit and eat all day will be strong. But yeah, this is not part of the route, so we're just hiking up to the start. It's about a 20 minute hike, and then we can get going for the actual run. So as you can see here, this is the direction we're heading in, and we're going to there's like a flatter section up there. Flat is in inverted commas, because obviously it's a f***ing mountain. But we zigzag up, and that is the 700 meter climb. And we're just getting to the start of it now. So this climb here is not actually part of the 700 meter climb. We are just getting to the 700 meter climb. And then you go all the way up to the top, and then you have a slightly flatter section up there. And this is Francois, by the way. I haven't introduced him yet. Can you introduce yourself and what you do and why you're a running person?
So I'm a mountain guy, belong to the guide company of Chamonix. I'm also an ultra runner, and I run because I love that. I love
Yes.
the nature. I love to be in the nature and to move in that place, in that incredible landscape, and we are lucky to live in Chamonix Valley.
We are, absolutely. And can you just explain to people which of the races of UTMB week that you have done?
5 races during the week, 40k, 56k, 101, 145, and the main race, the most famous one, is called UTMB. It's 171k with more than 10,000 meters gain elevation up and down. It's a loop around Chamonix, France, Italy, Swiss, and back to France. And it's something special. It's an achievement for racers to do that.
Amazing. And you've done all of them?
Yeah.
Very impressive. So I am in good hands. I am hopefully not going to get lost like I do on every single one of my runs, because I have the best tour guide in town over here. So we're going to set off now, just going to get to the base of the route, and then we will do the run proper. And we're off, optimistically running the first section. Then it's a big hike. Francois here tells me that although even though the best runners could absolutely run up this section, this next section, they would not. Bonjour. Because it's basically you need to save your quads, because the last 7 kilometers is steep downhill, and yeah, you absolutely want to be saving your legs for that. And after 100 and whatnot kilometers, you're going to be pretty knackered. So we'll be hiking up this bit, just like the pros would. And also, it's like the only option that I can do, because there is no way I'm running up here. So that's where we came from, and we've gone all the way up, zigzag, zigzag. Less than a kilometer so far, but check that heart rate, 176. Not normal. Up we go. So we've just been overtaken by a guy who is going to be racing on Friday. This is his last training run. I find it very funny. This is like my toughest run since my ultra. And yeah, this is his final training run, like 3 days before his actual race. No biggie. But yeah, he's just testing out the last of the course, seeing how it is underfoot, committing it to memory, so that when he gets to this point, he knows what's ahead, has committed it to memory. And when you're that tired, every bit of knowledge definitely helps. So, there's just this last big climb, and it's all downhill, and you can hear the cheering apparently for the last section all the way from Chamonix. And you can imagine after 160 something kilometers of running, that will be a very welcome sound. So yeah, I'll tell you when we get to that bit, but for now, more climbing.
Montets Glacier, Argentina Glacier, and if you have been there 20,000 years ago, all the glacier was so big, 200 kilometers long. Imagine in Chamonix Center, about 1,500 meters thick of ice. And now the glacier are gone. And 50, 60 years ago, the two glaciers were very close with ice.
Oh wow.
And now they are so far. And we lost about 2 kilometers of the bottom, and the bottom of the glacier is 600 meters higher.
Ah, wow.
In the very background of that glacier, you can see like a pyramid.
Yes, on the left, yeah.
This is called Mont Dol. The elevation, it's 3,800 meters, and the three borders, France, Italy, and Switzerland, are there on the top.
Wow.
And the giant tooth,
yeah,
there, its elevation is higher than 4,000 meters.
4,000 meters. Wow.
4,013 exactly. And this is the border with Italy.
Oh wow. Lots of borders.
A lot of borders.
And that's why, what, CCC, does that go through 3?
So CCC, it's Courmayeur in Italy, Champais in Switzerland, and Chamonix in France.
Amazing. And UTMB goes through...
So it's a loop, Chamonix, from Chamonix to Chamonix.
Yeah.
And so France at the beginning, Italy, Swiss and France.
Amazing at the
on
end.
the last pitch.
Nice, well, not bad views. But it's sad to hear about the glaciers. And I guess you see it firsthand here as well, how much it's receding. Especially from this point, you can practically watch it in the sunshine. I can see why this run would take 3 hours. Woo! We are 36 minutes in and a mere 2 kilometers, just over. It's been endless so far, and I just keep reminding myself that by this point people would have run over 150 kilometers through the night to get to this. I'm finding this tough 2 kilometers in, so spare a thought for the poor UTMB runners. It shows also how quickly fitness seems to disappear. I've not been running, certainly I've not been running hills or trails since July, and early July. So it's been nearly 2 months and my fitness is shocking. So I'm looking forward to this plateau at the top and the downhills. I've been hitting the gym, so I'm hoping that my downhills will be better than my uphills currently feel, because whew-wee, I don't know how I climbed over 2,000 meters in 17 kilometers last year in the first half of MCC. That would have been very tough. But it's funny how you only remember the good stuff of the whole race, like childbirth, I guess. So today I'm testing out the new Hoka Mafate 4s. Got them on my feet here. They're the first Hoka trail shoes I've ever owned actually. I love their shoes for roads, but I've never tried them on the trails before, so very interested to have them out here. I think I've not quite got the lacing right, so it feels quite tight at the moment. And you know, when you run and your feet swell, I think that's already happened. So I'm gonna be loosening them out in a bit, but they are super springy, super comfy. So it's quite fun to be trying them out. And I'm very grateful that they're working, because I definitely didn't bring any other trail shoes out here like an idiot. So Francois tells me that by the time you get to this point of the race, the race is practically done, but in terms of the leadership, but the leaders are only 10 to 15 minutes apart. So although they're unlikely to change position, you really got to hold it together. And this is not an easy route, especially on tired legs. There's a lot of trip hazards, as I just demonstrated nicely. And to think that you have only 10 minutes to the next person behind you if you're at the front. That means one mistake, one wrong turn, one little trip, slip, fall, and your lead could be over. So really got to hold it together. I'm very grateful that I'm not racing it right now. It's tough enough as is, but so beautiful, look. Hey! Incroyable. Okay, so we are at la Tete au vent, the wind's head, or the head of the wind. Lots of people here. So we're being told how to go downhill most efficiently.
Yes, so imagine you have no shoes, so you never touch the ground with the heel first, because it's very bumpy for the heel, the knees, the hips, the back, and you should go like this and touch the ground with the middle part of the foot.
Yes, midfoot
and,
or forefoot.
And bend like this.
Yes.
And you are told to shock with your quads. And with shock.
Oh God. Yeah, very nice. Okay, you make it look very easy.
And it's very comfortable. You should be relaxed.
Yeah.
You should control your speed and to be relaxed at the same time.
Yes.
It's not so easy to get that.
So that's the difficult balance is not going so slowly that it's really tough, but also not going so fast that you're not in control. Yes. Okay, great. Thank you very much. We'll see how it goes. Petit waterfall. Qu'est-ce que c'est en français?
Une chute d'eau, une cascade.
Chute d'eau.
Cascade.
Cascade. Très joli. Oh.
Coming from the Lac Blanc.
Coming from Lac Blanc. If you've never been to Lac Blanc, it is beautiful. I went last year. Just hiked up there. This route is stunning, and we're finally getting rewarded for our disgusting amount of climbing by having some flattish bits and some fun little downhill trots. Not that kind of trots, different kind of trots, like the horses. So beautiful. I'm loving it. My legs are out of practice, so I feel slow, I feel heavy, I feel unfit, but at the very least I can appreciate the scenery and the joy of being up here. But I have to say, even though I knew that I wanted to take time out and I knew that I wanted to have some rest and not sign up for any races after Race to the Tower for a little bit, next year I'm going to do a bit of training before coming out here, because I feel that's the way that you can best experience it, is by being a little bit fitter than I am right now. Because boy, this is hard, especially in the heat. Whew. Only 6 kilometers in, feels like we've done about 12. Got to a fun bit where it's up and down, up and down, up and down. So it's more my kind of stuff. Lots of momentum on the downhills, and then you can rest on the uphills. Never too much of anything. My heart rate, on the other hand, says it's 184. Like, what the hell? What? What? I don't entirely believe it, but it's definitely higher than it should be. And we've done 1 hour 25 so far and 710 meters of ascent. So that's nearly all of it, actually, because it's only 800 meters overall, because pretty much all of it's downhill from here, just little bits of up here and there. So nearly onto the funnest bit. Lots and lots and lots of downhill switchbacks, which I love. Absolutely love them. I'm going to try not to fall off the edge. It's always a risk.
First food of the run, because I totally forgot. I was thinking, oh, we've only done 6k. It was nearly an hour and a half. Woo! Having a lucho dietos. Just sugar, really. Very good. So we're coming into La Flegere now. Nice little downhill bit. Kind of technical underfoot. And by this point, the UTMB runners will have done nearly 10,000 meters of ascending and descending. Maybe 9,000, just over by this point. And imagine, that's more than Everest. Imagine the quads, how heavy they would feel. I feel heavy, but that is another level. And the climbing may be nearly over, but the descending is almost harder when you get to this sort of point in a race, because your quads are just shot. And so that'll be tough for them, for everyone, whether they're at the front or the back. Alrighty, we're at the top of the Chamonix Le Pras.
La Flegere.
Well, but the lift.
La Flegere.
Oh, La Flegere. Lift up from near Chamonix, and this is the last check. What's it called? Aid station. Aid station? Yeah. Before the finish line, so we're 7 kilometers from the end, and there is a cut-off time here, which means that if you don't make it, if you are 1 minute late to this point, you can't finish the race. And you have 7 kilometers, that's it, of 170 to go. And if you don't make it, you don't make it. I think that is brutal. Obviously it's for the safety of the runners and making sure that people can actually safely get to the end, but oh my God, imagine getting to this point and someone saying, yeah, sorry mate, you can't finish it. Oh, you'd be distraught. Anyway, we're just gonna fill up our water here. We are 1 hour 40 in. We've done nearly the full 800 meters of ascent, and now we are gonna do 7 kilometers of long downhills. It's gonna be great fun. Super excited. Thirsty, thirsty work, this. Nearly 8 kilometers. Some tough 8 kilometers of climbing there. But it's so beautiful, I just can't get over it. So the first part of the descent from La Flegere is actually a ski slope in winter. So it's very wide, sort of just loose rocks underfoot. Not too difficult, but steep enough so that if a rock disappears, you're definitely falling over. But it's a lot less technical than the previous parts, but definitely kills the quads a little bit. But I'm very pleased actually, because although I've lost a lot of fitness on the uphills, and that's kind of slightly depressing, I feel okay on the downhills. I think probably because I've just been gymming and getting stronger. Zero technique, but a little bit of strength. This is the bit that you can hear the loudspeaker at the end from. We've done maybe 10k, so yeah, just like 2.5, wait, my maths is poor. 5.5 kilometers to go, and you can hear the speaker shouting people into the end and celebrating, and imagine that feeling whilst you're trying to get down this fairly technical trail. And it must be, oh my God, it must be incredible, but also like, get me to the end already. So difficult. These trails are very similar to Croatia, where they were, actually, these trails are like the best trails in Croatia. There were so many that were harder, but there's a lot of rocks, there's a lot of roots, everything wants to trip you up. Merci. It's funny. Merci. And you kind of got to keep your wits about you. But imagine doing this off 0 sleep or next to 0 sleep, trying to pick your feet, merci, pick your feet up, get down the hill as quickly as possible without falling flat on your face or, you know, down the mountain or anything. It's going to be difficult. It's very cold, so cold. Woo! Look how fat my hands are.
You can try, huh?
Hey,
Just to put your in the
neat.
water.
What do the racers do this? Yeah, nice. Oh, ice
It's
bath.
anti-inflammatory.
Yeah. Amazing. Ouf. Il fait chaud aujourd'hui. Okay, 2 hours done. I often joke about downhills being my favourite part because you're essentially just controlled falling, or as the case may be, very uncontrolled falling. It's just gravity really, but it's slightly disingenuous because, as we heard from Francois just a few minutes ago, travelling downhill is a lot about technique if you want to be able to do it well, fast, safely and efficiently. And safety is sort of often an afterthought when I'm going downhill because I have so much fun and I have like zero regard for the safety and longevity of my cartilage in my knees. But it is a lot about technique. I think if you have fast feet, you can be good at downhills, especially if you have strong quads. And for me, I'm not a very good flat runner. I'm definitely not a very good uphill runner, but I do love my downhills. And I think that's probably something to do with the fact that I have strong quads, I go to the gym, I used to do boxing, so I have fast feet. There's definitely room for a lot of improvement, but yeah, it's not as easy as I definitely sometimes make it out to be. I also don't find it easy, I'm just being disingenuous really. But it is a lot of fun. It's definitely got that going for it. I absolutely adore it. I live for the downhills. But Francois was telling me that when he was training for UTMB and other major races, he used to do like a week of specific downhill training where he would take the lift up to the top of the high point here and do like 1,200 meters of downhill running, and then take the lift back up again and go down, and then take the lift back up again and then go down. I mean, this is tough enough. This has been, I don't know, like 20-30 minutes of downhill so far. That would be brutal, absolutely brutal. So yeah, it needs a lot of practice, and I think a lot of training plans when it comes to ultra running specify like towards the end to do more practice downhill running and technical trails and stuff if that's what you're going to be racing on, because it's not something that comes naturally to most of us, especially if we live in cities or, you know, places without technical trails. It can be difficult to get used to it. Anyway, this one's going well. I can definitely feel it because my trail specificity is just like shocking right now. Absolutely awful. Whew. There we go. Chamonix, là-bas. My legs are so not ready for this. It's ridiculous. Fun trails, that's what we love. Apparently in the race you have to climb that bridge to get across the road, just to really destroy. Why are we doing it? Why are we voluntarily doing this? What? I didn't sign up for this. What? So in the race, and also apparently we have to also climb this bridge just so that Francois can completely rinse my legs. Woo! Down we go. Oh my goodness. Yep, I'm feeling that. Hey, last little section along the river. I remember this in MCC. Along the river, and then you get the crowds. It's amazing, absolutely incredible. Yeah! Okay, so this is the last bit, coming in through Chamonix town, just coming up to the finish line. It's a bit of a wiggly route actually, I think could have taken a more direct one. And then this is where all the crowds will be. There we go. Incredible, incredible. Woo! Incroyable.
Congratulations!
Wow, I mean, that was incredible. I haven't been trail running recently. I feel like I've been in withdrawal, and with that run, I feel like I am well and truly back in it. Although my legs might disagree with me because they definitely weren't fit enough for the run that I just put them through, but it was a lot of fun. Francois was amazing and a great tour guide because I had no idea where I was going. I kind of like recognize a lot of bits of the routes because I've been to each of the kind of individual sections, but I've never connected them up before, so that's super nice. The run itself was 15 kilometers and 2.5 hours. We didn't absolutely hammer it. We stopped to take pictures and to take videos. Actually, I feel like I didn't take enough videos while I was up there because I was like trying to film on my GoPro, but then I also wanted to film on my phone and then take some pictures. I don't feel like I did enough of each of those individual things, but hopefully you got an impression of like just how beautiful but also grueling the course is. I don't think it's possible to really quite understand how tough this race is and ultramarathons in general, because like until you're in that completely sleep deprived state, it's really impossible, I think, to imagine what that does to your head and what that does to your positivity in your brain and your motivation to continue. And Francois often does sweeping at the back, so you know where he runs with the last runners to make sure they're all okay and safe and that no one's getting left on the course, and you know deals a lot with people who don't want to continue. Of course they do want to continue, but in that moment they want to quit, and so it's sort of his job to kind of motivate people. I mean, people have to motivate themselves, but he also just reminds them like, you've been training minimum a year for this race, probably actually your whole life, like through all the other races you've been doing. Have a sit down, rest for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maximum 15 minutes, eat some food, get some drink down, you warm up a little bit and then go again. Until you've been through that, I think it's really difficult to kind of imagine quite how difficult that is. All the ultramarathons that I've done have been just a poodle in the park compared to that, and they're just daytime ones, so I've not had to run at night other than, you know, stupidly early starts on multi-day events, but I've had a sleep and I'm gonna have a sleep at the end of that day. UTMB is like 46 hours of just non-stop running. 46 hours, just 4.6 hours is difficult to run, and it's 10 times that on really difficult terrain in really difficult conditions that are really changeable. I mean, kudos to all the people who are doing this run and all of the other ones as well. There are lots of different runs throughout the week, as Francois said at the beginning, and everyone who does all of them, it's just absolutely incredible. Whether they finish or not, it is a feat of human endurance, and I am just in awe of all of them. I'd love to come back someday and race OCC and probably CCC one day as well when I'm fit enough, which is definitely not yet considering my state at the end of that 15 kilometers. But yeah, I will be back for sure. I hope you enjoyed that video and it made you want to come out to Chamonix. There is so much here to explore. There are so many amazing routes. Not all of them are crazy hilly, believe it or not. There's lots along the river, and it's just the atmosphere when you come out here just to soak it all up. It is the best. I didn't think that I liked events with loads of people. That is one of the reasons I got into trail running, is because I really actually hate running with thousands of other people. But the atmosphere at the beginning of MCC and at the end of UTMB as well is just phenomenal, and videos and photos will just never do it justice. So if you ever have the opportunity to come out here during UTMB week or any other week of the year, especially in the summer, I think, to get some running in, do it. It's incredible. You can get the train down here super easily. That's what I did. It's well worth it. So that is it for this week's vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. I will be around all week supporting the runners and generally beating my legs up in various different forms, and I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. I'll be back with more videos, possibly from Chamonix, depending on whether I do any more runs. And also, don't forget to come and check me out on Instagram. It is @foodfitnessflora. I share a lot more of the day-to-day on my Instagram stories and my posts over there. So come and check me out, and I will see you next time. Thanks again for watching. Bye.